All right. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. So happy to see all these beautiful faces on our Monday morning miracle call. My name is Michelle Niels, and I'm in Fort Collins, Colorado. It is Monday, July 8th. I hope everyone had a wonderful Independence Day weekend, a nice long weekend for those of you who celebrate. So today and every Monday morning, we gather and we have this amazing call, and I am one of four hosts, and I host once a month with three other lovely ladies. And we have this wonderful call where we share our experiences with the patches. And these patches have been amazing in my life, amazing in many of your lives. And we want to hear from you. That's what this call is about. So don't be shy. We have a few rules: be bold, be brief, be compliant. I call it the BBC. Bold, brief, compliant. Okay. And what is compliant? That means we do not name disease names. We are naming symptoms only when we share our experiences with the patches. So tell us how you felt, which patch you used, and then what the result was. So how you're going to raise your hand is at the bottom of your screen. There is, on my screen anyway, I have a Zoom update, but there's a raise hand little icon. So you just click on that. If you have an older system, you may need to kind of poke around in those icons at the bottom and see, but raise your hand and then leave your hand up while you're speaking so I can find you on the screen, and I will call on you. And we like to keep our shares to 30 seconds to a minute. I will tell you that if you have a long story, then you raise your hand early, because a lot of people are shy in the beginning and it usually is a little slower, and you may have a little more time to share. But as the call goes on, we like to limit it to 30 seconds to a minute, so we have plenty of time for everyone to share. So the first 15 minutes of the call, we dedicate to the star of the show, the X39 stem cell activation patch. And we are going to just start with that. Don't bring in any other patches if you can help it. And then after 15 after, we will open up for the other patches. Okay. So, oh my gosh, my dear beloved sister Adele is here. Hi, beautiful. Where are you calling from?
Hi, Michelle.
Hi. Where are you right now?
Bosnia,
Oh my gosh,
Eastern
Bosnia.
Europe.
Bosnia and the pyramids. Oh
Oh,
my gosh. All right. So what is your share? We have a few people's hands up. Wonderful.
living at the base. Okay. My share is I just had some friends come visit, some people that had been using the patches for one of them almost 4 years, and she was still struggling with some issues with her hip. And we played around with the patches, and totally what it said to me was, don't give up. I mean, she literally just had some of them in the wrong place. Total woke up with, she slept better. We just had to move things around a little bit, slept better, and pain was basically gone. And we did a lot of hiking all over this country, so there was a real test of physical endurance, and she did great. So just a note to stick with it.
Stick with it.
And don't just assume that you're always wearing them in there, but also play with them, move them around a little bit. If they don't seem to be helping, move them somewhere else, like to the hip, X39. So
Right, right. Absolutely. Sometimes they go in kind of strange places. You just kind of use your intuition, and we're always encouraged to do that. So thank you, Adele. Wonderful to see you.
thank you. Good to see
All
you.
right. Natalie, please unmute.
All right. So I have a brand partner that when I gave him his first patch because his neck was bothering him, I got a call the next day because he had put it on, enjoyed the day. The next morning he woke up and his neck was no longer stiff. He could turn it easily for the first time in 6 years. Then he walked out into the kitchen and his wife said, "Your eyes don't look as puffy as they normally do. What did you do?" Then he gets to work and his employees are like, "Wow, you have a lot more energy. You're actually picking your feet up." So the call I got was, "What did you do to me? Because I want more of that." So
We love those.
he's in his 70s and they are loving the patches. They've gone on 2 vacations and been able to do a lot more on their vacations because of these patches.
Oh, thank you, Natalie. A happy summer, happy vacations, happy bodies. Yay. Thank you. All right, we have Bill. Bill and then John. Go ahead, Bill.
Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning.
I've noticed on these calls that there's a bunch of folks with the last name Rose. Now, I don't think I'm related to any of them, except I know for sure I'm not related to Sunshower. We've been friends for over 20 years.
Oh,
And she told me about the patches. And after 2 weeks on using the X39, I finally, for the first time in 20 years, heard the sound of silence. I've had that ringing in the ear thing for 20 years constantly. And if you call it about a level 10 that night, it was down to a 1. And for those folks who have had that understanding what that means is pretty amazing. So I'm really happy. And there are other things that I'm hoping that actually that's the way it started out, was with hope, but now it's expectation that the other issues that I'm wanting to have worked on, that I'm sure the patches and the body will work together, because there's great expectation. And I'm also one of those odd cases, or not odd, but usual cases where the patches and the body went after the oldest thing, which is 20-year-old thing. There are other ones that are much newer, and more urgent, but the patches
right.
the oldest thing, and that was still 20-year-old.
A
Probably.
20-year-old condition. And
Yeah.
and I'm sorry, I don't remember what you said. How long did it take before the sound of silence came?
2 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was great. My
That
neighbor,
is so touching. Thank you. There's a lot of people with that issue, and you did very well being compliant, Bill. You have a good teacher. Sunshower. That
thank
was
you.
excellent.
Yeah, and thanks to Sunshower for the introduction. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Sunshower, for sharing the love. Aw. All right, Bill. Thank you. John, and then Roger and Orla. Hi, John.
Hi, Michelle. Hi, everybody. I just wanted to say, and I'll keep this to 30 to 45 seconds, how the X39 for me, I've been on it for 18 months now. I also use Eon and X49. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. And again, I just keep repeating myself, it's cumulative. Where I am today after 18 months is just amazing. And it's an awareness. It's a gratitude thing for me to be aware that where I am with the patches and what I've done and learned from David Schmidt and LifeWave is it's an accumulation of all these good things of inner healing. And I'll go right to my golf game, for instance. I just realized that I hit, and it's an awareness of where I am. And I can hit the ball now 20 yards further. I walk, at 75 years old, I've never felt better. And when I get home after playing golf, I still have so much energy. So it's just really an accumulation, and then just being aware of that accumulated feelings that are just amazing.
Beautiful. Thank you, John. Always love your shares. You have such good energy.
Thanks.
Yay. Yeah, that accumulation, we things, the better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets. I've been using the patches for 5 years, and I'm 62, you guys. I mean, most people think I'm a lot younger than that. Part of it's the patches, part of it's genetics, but I know a lot of it is the patches, and lots of wonderful accumulative benefits. So thank you. Thank you, John. Roger and Orla.
I was just going to relate to you an experience I had recently with a wasp. I was out gardening in the backyard, came in the house, and there was a wasp that was on my collar. And the wasp did sting me, but my wife very quickly got a patch out, put it on the wasp sting spot, and the pain went away, and it didn't have any of the after effects a normal wasp would have.
Oh, that's nasty. And was that the X39, Roger?
Yes.
Right on the sting, right on the point of
I think she
pain.
put it off her back and put it on my shoulder. So
Also, too, I've shared this before about falling and fracturing my sacrum. And I've only been on the past 9 months now. I'm 86. So I'm waiting for great things to happen because I do my fall of the week and I think I keep my X39 busy trying to recover me from those. So I have a lot of things going on with me, but I'm expecting great things to happen.
You don't look 86, my dear.
Oh,
86
thank you.
years young, getting younger.
But my
Beautiful.
sacrum healed in 14 days. So that was great.
Wow.
So that gives me great hope.
Yes. Yes. I loved what a gentleman said earlier. I think it was Bill. He started with hope and now he has expectation. You know, we start with hope and then
Right.
it becomes, well, we just expect wonderful things to happen because they keep happening.
Right.
And sometimes we hear other people's stories first before we have ours. Sometimes we have to hang in there a little bit. I did have a pain relief experience right away with the X39. I had, and since no one's hand is up, I'm going to share. And everybody be thinking about your stories and get those hands up, okay? So when I started, my dear friend Helen, who have been a friend for many, many years, told me about the patches. And I said, no. I was kind of resistant, actually. And I had tried massage and chiropractic and physical therapy, and they all helped a little bit, but none of them completely took this low back pain completely away that I had had for a few months. And I was out kayaking with Helen. And when I got back, the pain was about an 8 out of 10. It was pretty bad. I could hardly stand up. She said, Michelle, do you want to try this now? I said, all right, put it on. And in about probably 15 to 30 minutes, the pain had got cut in half. That was the X39. And what's amazing, everybody, is that it did stay away. I mean, something that had been with me for a few months. So sometimes we get those amazing ahas, and sometimes it's more subtle. And the subtle things are just as wonderful. Getting good sleep, having more energy, having cognitive function where it's like, oh, my brain is firing on all cylinders. You know, all these things are wonderful. So sometimes it's not the really big things, but sometimes those big things come later. So hang in there. All right, Jerry, thank you for coming on.
Hi
Hi.
again. I guess, hi there. A lot of you know about my accident with a double fractured pelvis, which was really serious. But a lot of you don't know about the second part. About 8 months later, I face planted onto a hardwood floor with my hip where it had broken and my knees, my head and shoulder. And I was lying there for a while in severe pain and didn't know what I was going to be doing. And after collecting myself and getting back up after maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10, I went in and I did what we call wallpapering. And I took about 6 X39s out, maybe 7. And I did both knees, my hips in both places in the area, my shoulder, my head, and decided, okay, I went back to bed. And it was only about 25 minutes later, I got up. I had no pain. I never, which I should have been bruised. It's amazing I wasn't so bruised. And didn't have any after effects. I just kept on chugging. So hooray to X30.
Oh, Jerry, thank you. No, I didn't know about that one. Yeah. I heard your hip story a couple times, and sometime you'll have to share that one again too. Thank you. Kira, and then Adele, and then Christina. And by the way, we can talk about other patches now if you do have another story. So go ahead, Kira. Uh-oh.
You need to unmute, Kira.
Can't hear you. It looks like you are unmuted, Kira, but I'm not hearing you. Can you maybe turn the volume up? Your mouth's moving, but I'm not hearing you.
Michelle, a lot of times if they come in and out, it'll come back.
Oh, thanks, Jerry. Hey, Kira, why don't you try exiting the meeting and then coming back? Okay, Adele, go ahead.
Okay, I'll just share another quick story. Now that we can talk about other patches, I'm going to talk about carnosine. And I've told this before. I had went to the eye doctor a year ago and was told I had 20/70 vision. The best we could get in my right eye was 70 because of a clouding condition that I had that was significant. And I knew there was a little something I could do. Robin helped me and reminded me what I heard on one of these calls, which was carnosine. And I wore it inside of a sleep mask, just an airline mask. And within the first 5 days, I couldn't believe how much clearer I could see. And in 10 days, basically the condition was gone. And now I still wear the patch. I put 2 and I wear them for about a week at a time every other day. I don't wear them every night, just to kind of keep things in really good shape. So just highly recommend it and just be persistent. If I've had some friends try it, it didn't work that fast for them. So just keep going. I had been wearing X39 at that point about a year and a half. So my body already was in a good place. So
Was already in a good place. Now, do you still put them in an eye mask, Adele, or do you sometimes put them on the sides of your temple, on their temple?
I really like the eye mask part. So I
Okay.
just do that.
Okay.
And I layer the new ones on the old ones and I replace it about once a week. They're
Okay.
pretty strong. You don't really need to wear them every day.
That's
So
right.
I just layer them. When I have 5 or 6 in there, I just take them off and start it with a new
Oh,
one.
that's great. 5 or
I
6.
think there's still energy in there.
There is, yes. And just for new people, when we say inside of an eye mask, you're pressing the patch into the eye mask and the opposite side of the patch is facing your eye, but it doesn't matter which way the patch is facing. It doesn't matter because the patch works when it's within 3 inches of the body. You could have the patch in your pocket, which is, we don't recommend. No, like I'll just stick this in my pocket and put it on. I mean, unless you really want it to start working, because it will start working within 3 inches of the body, and it doesn't matter which way the patch faces. So thanks, Adele.
Michelle,
Awesome.
Thank
Yes.
Michelle,
you.
Yes,
this is
Ann.
Ann. There's a lady by the name of Illuminata. I think it's a lady who's trying to raise her hand and it keeps going up and down. She'd like to share.
Oh, thank you, Ann. All right. Let's get Christina, because you had your hand up, and then we'll go to this Illuminata. Okay, we'll go to you next. Okay, Christina.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
I wanted to tell my tooth story, but before I tell you that, talking about putting them in your pocket, I had grabbed like glutathione, Eon, I think I had a carnosine in there, and I had stuck them down in my left pocket, not thinking about it. And that hip had been really bothering me. And just like within a few minutes, the hip stopped bothering me. And later that day, I realized I had left those patches in that pocket. I was like, oh,
Aha. A serendipitous little accident. That's wonderful, Christina.
So I was going to tell you about my tooth. I had a abscess tooth when I was 18, and I had a root canal done on it. And then later someone else said, well, it still needs a root canal done on it. So I had another one. This went on throughout my life. And in 2021, I finally found a surgeon that would work on it and actually take care of it. Well, by that time it had eaten away up at the very top of that tooth. It was all eaten away, ate the bone, and there was a bunch of infection in there. It was bad. And the surgeon said, I will take care of this root canal. I can get down there, I'll get it all out, but I can't promise you anything about that tooth. You've lost significant amount of bone and you have a lot of infection in there. So I just, I'll do my best and we'll go from there. Well, I went back in there and his eyes got huge. And by this time, between the time I had gotten the surgery done, I'd found patches and started using patches.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back in there and he looked at the tooth and he was like, big, huge eyes. He's like, oh my gosh, all your bone grew back. You have no more infection. That's what did he call it? A valuable tooth. You make sure you take care of it.
Oh my goodness. That is one of the most amazing dental stories I've ever heard. Wow. Thank you, Christina.
You're welcome.
Beautiful. All right. Now the woman that Ann mentioned, I don't know if we're saying your name correctly.
Illuminate me. Her email is illuminate me.
Oh my gosh, that's my friend, Paula. Paula, are you ready to unmute and share your story?
Yes, I am.
Hi, sweetie. Oh, my dear friend. This is probably one of my very best friends in the world. This is Paula. She's her first time on the call. Come on, girl.
Oh my gosh, that story about the abscess and the bone loss. Yeah, that wins. Oh my gosh, that's so encouraging to me because I have bone loss too. So now I have hope about that. But I wanted to share well, just really quick, the same thing happened with my husband. He had one of those sensations that he's like, uh-oh, this feels like a root canal. And I'm not sure. I think glutathione was the only thing I had at the time. And within a day, it was gone, and it's been gone. But the other little story I wanted to share is I had a back injury, a really severe back injury a while back. And so I was just patching myself up every day because I was in really chronic pain, and it was really, really awful. So, well, Jesus came and healed me. It was a night and day. There was a moment. Yeah, that's a Jesus story. But what I noticed afterwards, so I've started to have to cover up my gray. And I went to do that again, and there was no gray. I was like, right on.
Join the club, Paula.
Oh my gosh. And I know it's because I had to use so many patches every day. It was the consistency, I think, that made the difference. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, dear heart. Thanks for joining us. All right. All right.
Hey, Michelle, Kira's back in.
Oh, Kira, who was trying to share and couldn't. Let's see. I don't see her on the screen. Kira, did you raise your hand? Is her hand raised, Helen? There she is. All right, Kira, you go ahead. Let's see if we can hear you. Oh, no. Can't hear you. That's so weird. Oh, computers. You know, Kira, if you would like, put your testimonial in the chat. And since I can't pay attention to the chat because there's a lot of messages in there, maybe someone would read it for you, okay? Put your testimonial in the chat. Thank you.
I'll do that for Kira.
Thank you, Sunshower. Thank you. Okay. Stacy, go ahead.
Hello. A few weeks ago, I was at Sam's and I dropped my Sam's Club card on the floor and I stepped right on it and I slipped and my arm hit the wall. And I mean, the pain was like a 10, like immediately. And I had an X39 on the back of my neck. So I took it off and I put it right on it and held it. And probably like within a minute, the pain went down to a 7. And then I was in a lot of pain. So then I remembered I had ice waves on. So I took my ice waves off and I stacked it on top of the X39 and I just held it. And probably within 10 minutes, the pain went down to a 2. And then I asked an employee if they had like a Band-Aid. So because my patches, I had already been using them. So I put a Band-Aid on it to hold it. So throughout the day, it was fine. And I have pictures. It bruised very, very minimal. So I'm very happy about that. And then the other is talking about the carnosines. I used to put them on the inside of my mask, but it would just like get too sticky and stuff. So now I use it on my temples because I have the floater problems. So when I was visiting my dad last month, I was having eye problems, just get really worn out and tired. So for 2 nights in a row, I put the carnosines on, and then the next 2 nights I did the glutathione, and I do that periodically, and then I'm fine. So miracle.
Oh, Stacy, thank you. And I'm going to just interject very quickly. I used to use them on my eye mask as well. And the same thing, Stacy, my eye mask got so sticky. I'm like, no, I don't like this. And then I got a new one. I'm like, I don't want to mess my new one up. So you can also put them on the temples. And I do the same thing, Stacy. Carnosine a couple days a week, a couple nights, and glutathione a couple nights. Yep.
And I do have one more real quick, if that's okay.
Yeah.
About 10 days ago, I was making blueberry jam for the very first time. And I don't know what happened. I was boiling the water and I was doing the tongs and it slipped. And so then I got a water burn right here. And Robin, I did not take a picture. I really wish I would have taken a picture. But I had been using, because you're not supposed to use like, lotions or creams or the kind of like a petroleum, but it's not that, it's something else. So I have the Alavita eye cream. So I started putting that on there. You could barely see it. It's kind of brown now, but it was red for about 3 inches and it hurt really bad. So I've been using the Alavita eye cream on it for 10 days now, and it's looking really good.
Beautiful. And the Alavita eye cream, for those of you who are new, has the copper peptide in it. So it's a little bit blue. The eye cream has a blue tint to it. It's really, really pretty and silky and smooth and works very well. Thanks, Stacy.
You're welcome.
Okay, Roger and Orla, you have another share, and then Jonathan.
Yeah, because I didn't share this before because it wasn't with an X39. But I have slept for about 2 to 3, maybe 4 hours most of my life. And the X39 wasn't doing it. Of course, I'd only been on it for a short time. Anyway, I started sleeping with a silent night. And the first week I slept 8 hours. And I thought, oh, good, I'm going to sleep 8 hours. But that was only one day. Next week it was the same way for about 3 weeks. And then I started sleeping. So now I sleep probably at least 7 hours a night, almost every night. So it's really great.
Wow, Orla.
Also, too,
That's huge.
I have really tender skin. And once I get the patches on, some places it bruises my skin to take them off. So I've been just taking off half of the label and using it. And it works really well. Sticks really tight, and I don't have quite so much trouble getting it off. So others might need that too if someone else has things.
That is sensitive skin, so you just take off half the backing. Yeah. And
Right.
another idea, Orla, and everyone, is you can put the patch on your clothing. If your skin is very sensitive, you can always put it on your clothing.
I do that on some places.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Also, too, my forehead used to be all bumpy. I don't know what it was bumpy. And I noticed one day it was all gone. I don't know what did it, but it probably was the X39 since I've just been using X39 then. Great, I don't have the bumps anymore.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. We're getting younger and prettier. Thanks, Orla.
Thanks.
All right. I think we have time for a few more. Now, Sunshower, did Kira write something in the chat?
No, oh wait, oh, she just did. I can read it to you now.
Okay, let's listen to Kira's testimonial.
While using my microwave, which is above my stove, I left the door open while working with what I was cooking. Then I got distracted and turned back to the microwave. I hit my head. A significant bump quickly appeared and was painful to the touch. I'm using both Eon and X39 on the bump, which is indeed getting smaller and less painful.
Oh, Eon and X39 to the rescue. Bump my head. Ow, ow, ow. That I just like, I could just feel how that would hurt. Thank you, Sunshower, for helping out with Kira. Okay, we have, let's see, CJ, Lavelle, and Jonathan. We'll probably end with Jonathan. Okay, CJ, go ahead and unmute.
Hi, good morning, Michelle.
Good morning.
Hello. I have a tooth story. So make it really brief. In March, I went to my regular dentist. We did a cleaning. He looked at one of my teeth, and it was one implant that I had. And I knew that it was a little bit loose. He said yes. So he sent me back to my perio who did the work. Fast forward, I went to him. I already wear the 39 and 49 every day and Eon at night, but I had started wearing the X49 on my jaw with the lower tooth that was having a little looseness there. And I talked to him about it and he looked at it. I had a tooth above that was hitting it and shouldn't be. So then he worked on that, reduced that. It wasn't hitting. Okay, CJ's doing her stuff. Come back in 2 weeks, CJ. Let me look at it again. Went back again. He did another adjustment. He's like, keep doing your things because your tissue looks super healthy and everything. And there's no infection, but keep doing you. So fast forward, went back. Then he said, come back in 6 weeks. And the last time he said, pushing on it and everything, he goes, I believe it's improving. Do you? I go, yes, sir, I do. He goes, okay, so I just want you back in September. Keep doing what you're doing. So that 49 on my jaw, I know, is helping the bone around that implant. And thank David Schmidt, and thank you to our wonderful patches.
Thank you. Thanks for that beautiful share. Yes, we are blessed. Thank you, David Schmidt. Genius. There's a genius in our midst.
Yeah.
Okay, Lavelle and then Jonathan.
Good morning, Michelle.
Hi, Lavelle.
How are you?
Great. How are you?
We're wonderful. Okay, so quickly, I heard Anne Moreau speak about X39 and X49, and it lowered her blood pressure. So my wife and I both started wearing the 49 every day, and in 4 months, went to our doctor, and she took both of us off our high blood pressure medicine by wearing X39 and X49.
Oh, I just got goosebumps head to toe. I call them God bumps.
And then, thank you. And then I heard someone say, well, I wear my Eon at night and it helps me sleep better. Well, I have been waking up multiple times using a potty.
Yep. A lot of us know that.
And I
That one.
put the Eon on my left and right chest, and now I don't get up all night long using the restroom. That's a phenomenon. And I Googled it.
Lavelle, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. You put the Eon where?
On my left chest and on my right chest. You know where you have that tender spot?
Jonathan's pointing in the lung 1 points?
Yeah, my left. And if you feel around in your chest, and you'll feel like a tender spot.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And that's where I put it, on the left and my right chest. And my wife says I sleep like a baby. I don't snore as much anymore or at all. And then I stopped waking up 3, 4, 5, 6 times going to the bathroom. And I Googled it. I said, how many people wake up multiple times? 50% of women over 50 and 60% of men over 50 wake up multiple times at night to use the restroom. So this is, I think, really something that we need to share with people, because if you don't sleep well, you won't heal well.
Right.
And now if you can sleep throughout the night, that's powerful.
That is powerful. Yep. Beautiful.
Thanks for letting me share. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Lavelle. I'm going to try that tonight.
Yeah, try it. It works. It works. That's amazing. Thank you, Lavelle. So real quick, I don't want to take up too much time. I always tell you guys about this old man playing basketball with these young guys. I went out yesterday to play. We went out early in the morning, and all I used in the morning while I was playing were the energy patches. I put them on the bottom of my feet, and everything went good. We played longer than I should have because I was plagued by my son's cold. So I was very weak, and I'm like, but my desire, I pushed myself. I need to be careful with that. But because of these patches, I'm able to push myself. When I got home and took a shower, I put my X39 on, and I feel amazing. I tell you what, guys, this technology is amazing. And Lavelle, I don't want to steal your thunder, but you remember my story. It was 8 weeks with just the X39, and my doctor took me off my blood pressure medicine.
Yoo-hoo! Yeah. All right. Awesome, everybody. What wonderful, wonderful shares. And we couldn't do it without you. So every one of you who shared, we love you. We appreciate you. We thank you so much for being here. And now we're going to turn it over to our wonderful leaders in Bozeman, Montana. For those of you who don't know, if you're new on the call, this is Robin and Gregory Mascari. We are so blessed to have these servant leaders with the biggest hearts. I love you guys. Go ahead. Take over.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for doing such a beautiful job. And thank you everyone for sharing your stories. Oh my gosh. I had one of my own. I felt like I was in a cartoon the other day. We were out at a big bonfire and it was dark and they were using a rake for the bonfire. And yep, I did it. I stepped on the rake and whacked my head. And I'm like holding my head and I'm saying, get my patches. So
bleeding.
I got blood in my hand and fortunately it got my eyebrow, not my nose. And you know, it's discolored and it was, you know, painful for a little bit, but it's tender, but it's healing really fast. I put a X39 and an Eon on it right away. Always never leave home without it. Carry your patches as a first aid kit. You never know when you're going to need it. And I was so grateful to have it. So for those of you that are new, on Monday night, we have our community call. We celebrate people that we get success tips and we do some training sometimes. So we'll be there tonight and look forward to you and any of your people that want to join us. We record everything, as you know, and put it on our Live Younger YouTube channel. And let's see, it's full on summertime here. And I hope you guys are out and about enjoying meeting people. I've been having a great time. And I got several people on the Connie Zoom Doc Talk last night. That is not recorded by Connie's preference for privacy and compliance, but I got texts back from several of them saying, I'm ready to get started. The call works, so please use it.
Great.
And very exciting. What else?
I think that pretty much covers it. So, God bless you all. We love our LifeWave family and the community that, we just have a rolling momentum of light technology making miracles in people's lives. And tonight we'll talk some more about that. So please join us. And if you'd like to unmute and say your farewells. And again, thank you, Michelle. You always do such a gracious job.
Thank you, guys.
Keep on patching.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Michelle.
Michelle.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Bye,
everybody.
Lavelle. Enjoy your
Bye,
vacation.
everybody.
Really appreciate
Good
it.
X39
Thank
day.
you.
Muchas
gracias,
Good
todos.
day.
Ciao.
Thank you, everyone.
You're
was
awesome.
awesome.
Appreciate all your hard work.
Bye,
Good to
everybody.
see you all.
You're an awesome host. And thanks
Muchas
for all of
gracias.
the comments.
Bye.
Great job, Michelle.
Hasta otro
Thank
día.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Love Tribe.
Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Love Tribe. I love that. It's our Love Tribe.
Me too.
Thank you.
Energy.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.